Sunset Boulevard is one of the greatest films ever made. I'm going to spend the rest of this video explaining why that is an absolute fact and really one of the most true facts ever spoken. But before we do that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, share, and comment below what other videos you'd like me to do. All right, well, without further ado, let's delve into one of the great masterpieces of cinema, Sunset Boulevard. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Adam Kiss Show. Today I'm here on my couch. I figured this would be a good way to just do a nice, relaxing talk about really a great film. And in a certain way, these videos are just me talking off the top of my head. I don't really prepare very much for these videos in the sense that I don't go through before I'm talking to you now and say, okay, these are the talking points I want to talk about this film. I'm really just kind of talking off the top of my head about some of my favorite films and perhaps some films I don't like as much, and about things about filmmaking and things like that. So, of course, I feel like I'm always preparing for these videos in my life because I'm always watching films, I'm always studying films, I'm always studying stories, I'm always making films, acting, directing, writing, doing all of that. So it kind of is all combined. And then when I get to talk to you, it's kind of interesting that I'm just sitting here on the couch now because that's kind of how I feel. Like I'm just relaxing here, spouting out some information at you, spouting out some of my opinions, and that's really how I feel about it. Now, having said all that, I literally just rewatched Sunset Boulevard right now, today, and because of that, I immediately thought of all of you, and I thought of immediately putting my thoughts down, because this is a movie I've watched several times. I've probably watched this movie 10 times in my life, at least, at a bare minimum. So it's definitely one of my favorites, and I really wanted to talk about why, especially now that it's so fresh in my mind. I just finished rewatching it. And again, it's a classic. It often makes it on the lists of the greatest movies of all time, with good reason, as I'm about to explain. It's a Billy Wilder film. I'm a big Billy Wilder fan. I think he's done so many great movies. He's done this, Double Indemnity. He's very well known, obviously, for Some Like It Hot. He's known for, what else? For The 7-Year Itch. He's known for Love in the Afternoon, is a movie that not many people know, but I absolutely love. So again, you probably recognize some or all of those titles, but he's an absolute master. He did incredible films. He was an incredible screenwriter and director. One thing that I regret is that I wish that he would have done a movie with Cary Grant. I know he always tried to do a movie with Cary Grant, but Cary Grant always turned it down. So I would have really been interested to see those two working together, because Billy Wilder is certainly one of my favorite directors. Cary Grant certainly one of my favorite actors, so I would have been interested to see that combination. But anyway, on to the task at hand. So Sunset Boulevard, starring William Holden and Gloria Swanson. It's an absolutely incredible film. I really love it, and the reason I do is because it's a film noir, so it's kind of this very dark movie with all these twists and turns, and it's told through Holden's perspective. You have all this great voiceover narration. He's kind of narrating what's happening. He's not in every scene, but he's in almost every scene, so you see it mostly through his perspective. The interesting thing about this film is that the beginning of the film kind of spoils the ending. It's one of those films where right at the beginning, the narrator, played by William Holden, Joe, he immediately spoils the ending by telling us exactly what happens to him, how he ends up, and then it's really about how he got there. It's not like a whodunit. It's like it's how you get there. In other words, another example I could say is in the television series Columbo, the classic series Columbo. Those episodes always started with the audience seeing the criminal actually perpetrating the crime, and then it was about how the detective Columbo would catch them. So it wasn't a whodunit, it's a who catch it. So in this case, it's not what happens, it's how we get there, which is really the interesting part. So again, everybody knows the story. It's about a screenwriter kind of down on his luck, who ends up kind of staying at the house of this famous has-been movie star, and kind of a lot of that dynamic. I don't want to get into a lot of the spoilers for the film, because I mostly do non-spoiler reviews here, but it's a very engrossing story. It's about her. She wants to do a career revival. He wants to kind of get some money, get paid, and there's a dynamic there with a romantic relationship and all kinds of things like that. But that is the bare bones of the story, but it really is explored in so many unique nuances that I absolutely love it. I mentioned the voiceover narrations in the film, and that's absolutely one of my favorite parts. I mean, it really brings you into the story. Some people like voiceover narration, some don't. I mean, it's kind of like the thing with flashbacks. Some people like flashbacks, some people don't. I mean, if I'm going to choose between the two, I love voiceover narration, and I'm not as big a fan of flashbacks, though they can work, obviously, and I've used them myself, and I continue to use them. But I'm not a fan of just using flashbacks willy-nilly and sparingly. Definitely, I believe in using them sparingly. But in terms of the voiceover, I think it really adds so much character. Another interesting thing, perhaps what I relate to, is that William Holden plays a screenwriter. I'm a screenwriter as well. I can relate a little bit to his character, a little bit down on his luck, trying hard. So I can relate to that. And honestly, I think so many of us can, whether we're screenwriters or not. It's really a metaphor for struggling at anything in life, trying to make it, trying to make things happen. And it's really all about that. It's a movie with a great script, great direction, and great performances by William Holden and Gloria Swanson. And just overall, an incredible movie. I can't imagine, this is one movie that I cannot imagine if it was in color. I think that it's way better as it is in black and white. It was released in 1950, I believe. When color was obviously an option, but it was more expensive to shoot in color in those days. Plus, I think that Billy Wilder would have rightfully wanted to shoot this in black and white anyway. I mean, it's such a noirish film, but it's just so moody and mysterious in the black and white. And again, it's a movie I absolutely love. I just saw it, and I really wanted to share my thoughts with you on it. So, thanks so much for listening. Follow me on all social media. Here on YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Instagram, all the social media platforms. I'm out there. And thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on another episode of The Adam Kiss Show.